show you, Will. Hey, welcome back everybody. So today I'm back out here at the back side of the property where it's really thick, and what I'm going to try to do today is make room to bush hog. So I've had a lot of tree limbs like the one I just cut down that are just kind of in the way of where your head hits when you're bush hogging. I want to get rid of those trees. And what I also plan on doing is just finding a lot of these saplings and stuff that have grown up over the years. Probably just go ahead and wipe those out too. Clear this area up. That way it's just not so junky, kind of trashy back in here as far as like woods and trees go. So I want to kind of clean this up. That way over the next few years, this whole area can start to become a little bit better, a little bit thinner, and a little bit easier to maintain. And that's the main goal for today. So let's get after it. Just like most things around here, I'm not going for perfection. I'm wanting just to kind of get to a more manageable position. And with a cedar tree like this that I'm going to start cutting on, they always grow limbs really low like this. So I'm going to lop off some of them. I'll be able to back up the bush hog into some of those areas. And I'm not going to worry about this one too big. It's just how a cedar tree grows. In all honesty, I probably should just go ahead and cut that tree down. And I might consider that, but I'm going to lop off the bottom limbs first before I make that decision, before I take down a tree this size. Mainly because if I cut down a full tree like this, I'm going to have to do something with that tree, and that's just a lot of extra work that I don't necessarily want to do at the moment. If you look right here, this is actually the tree that I cut down from like one of my very first videos about the magnolia tree right here behind it. So clearly, even though I cut this tree down right here, the reason why I didn't cut it down lower, just like everything else back here, barbed wire growth through it. So I couldn't go too low with that, but I made either just pull these off. They're pretty easy to, these little stump growths, pull those off, clean some of this stuff up, and bring the bush hog over and chop some of this stuff up. See that barbed wire? Pretty good. There's a lot down here too, so gotta be real careful. That's a pretty big pile of briars right there. And so what I've been doing is I've been using my little nippers, and I've been individually cutting each one of those briars out from the ground as close as I can, and then just pulling from however tall they are. A lot of these go up to the tops of the trees, and it's just wild to actually see a briar do that. I mean, you don't really typically see them have leaves or anything like that, but they're way up in the tops of these trees. And what I'm about to start doing is I'm going to start pulling some of these other big giant vines and seeing where they fall. This one's in the ground all the way over there. It goes up on this tree and it actually curls back, and it's up in the top of this tree closest to the camera. It's amazing what these things can do. And who knows how old they are. That's why there's so many dead limbs up there. None of this stuff is able to fall because it stays trapped in these big giant vines. I feel like Tarzan almost. I'm gonna have to walk out this way. It'll come out of the ground easier than it is from the tree. Look at that. That is crazy. I might have to get the tractor in here and pull this with the bucket, which I've done in the past. It's just amazing. I mean, look at that limb. Oh, come on. Oh my. Yep, I'm gonna have to use the tractor for these. Let's do that. Good Lord. It's crazy. No. That's just amazing how big those vines are. So this one right here, wrapped out there to the field, is that second one I just pulled out that the tractor couldn't grip onto. But check out how long the very first one was. I mean, it just keeps going and going. You can see the tractor marks. I don't know what that is, but it's obviously everywhere. It's been growing for years on years on years and just never been cut back. So of course it's going to grow to its full potential, but I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna try to fold these up somewhat so that I can chop them up and go from there. This whole project has already turned into something that I didn't even anticipate whatsoever. I knew I wanted to clear up a lot of these briars just because briars are terrible. I mean, I've never found anything useful about a briar. But you can see all the way over here in the back, I've already been messing around on these trees over here to my left, pulling out a lot of the same vines and stuff just from the other side and piling them up over here. And over here on this tree right here in front of me, I undoubtedly did some of this last year where I killed a lot of the briars. Well, I didn't pull them out of the tree. And so now this tree has got all these dead briars hanging from it. So I'm just pulling them down little by little to help free this tree up just a little bit. Probably help it breathe and grow better if I had to guess, without all this extra crap hanging from it. Ow. Look at that. Unbelievable. But this is why you maintain your land, if all possible, or this stuff takes place. And this is really nobody's fault that this is this way, it just hadn't been done. I need some goats or something. Try to eat all this junk. That's the question for this episode. Drop a comment and let me know. That way I can tell Lacey if we should get goats or not. You guys let me know. I'm gonna have to be very careful to wash up as good as I can. There has been a ton of poison oak around all this, to be expected. Hopefully with some of this so-called maintenance I'm doing, helps alleviate some of the poison problem or keeps it a little bit tamer. Oh, God, dang it. I can honestly say this whole project has become a lot more involved than I ever thought it was going to. So I think this one little section right here is going to be where I call it quits for today. But I've still got plenty to do. I've only made it 50 feet since I've started this. I was just really amazed by how many briars were out here, and these giant vines that were just up in the trees. I knew they were there, but like I just never knew it was to that extent. Now there's still plenty up there. I couldn't get them all. A lot of it's still poison too, so I'm going to definitely have to wash up really, really good to make sure I do that. So what I'm going to try to do here, I cut this whole limb off. There's a little sapling back here in the back, and maybe some of these little chintzy pieces like that to get out of the way. And I'm going to try to pull all the briars and the vines out of this area and chop them up and go take a shower. All right, I think I'm going to wrap up the video right here. And I'm just amazed with how the day went. I mean, I got a lot accomplished today. It wasn't what I originally thought I was going to get accomplished, but I still have plenty to do. As you can see way back here in the back, that's where I was bush hogging the other day. And I still need to go in there by hand with a chainsaw and my nippers and just kind of whittle that stuff away a little by little over time. But yeah, my bush hog is working out pretty good. I still hope there's no leaks with the tractor. I'm going to have to double check that tonight. But so far so good. Well, I think we're going to have a pretty good spring project clearing all this stuff up, and so stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one.